Alright guys, welcome back to my PSU. So what we have here today is a PC that we picked up for 450 bucks, and we have here like literally all the boxes, and basically it has a Ryzen 5 5600G, then 60 gigs of white Corsair RAM, half a terabyte PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD, very good power supply, very good CPU cooler, and a very good motherboard. But we're gonna take all that away and basically go with a very cheap but still good Intech 80 plus gold power supply. Then we're keeping the same exact RAM but in black, because we're taking out the actual PSU, which is white. And then we are using an RX 6700 XT that I picked up used for 150 bucks plus 32 gigs of RAM, so 250 bucks total basically. And we're getting basically a mid-range PC. We're also redoing all the cable management and installing Windows 11 in it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing obviously is cleaning it before working on it, so it's gonna be much better. So let's get started. Obviously I have to open up the side panel and give it a bit more, but I will do it off camera. Then we will go on to actually clean it with some wipes, so stay tuned. Okay, so now we are halfway through. Time to properly clean it by hand, and again, this is gonna take a while, but it's gonna come out looking pretty. Okay, so step one, we're actually getting this RAM out. Right there. It's really pretty. I'm thinking about getting it into my PC actually. Also, the filmographer wants it, but you know, she's looking at me weird right now, but whatever. Now we're putting the black one in there. I really think it suits the build better, by the way. There we go. So that's good. Okay, so now we're actually taking the cooler out, and it's a very weird way to mount these things in NZXT cases. So you have to first undo those. Now this will free up the whole panel. At this point you have to in some way get it free without scratching the case, which is the hardest part. And then you should get them out, but the problem is that the fans have the cables connected to the motherboard. So you have to first get these out. Okay, so I freed up the fans. Now we can pull this panel out. Now we have to unscrew it from the actual radiator, which is probably one of the hardest parts. Okay, so now take out the cooler. Oh, you have to flip it. Place it outside, then we go. Paste application wasn't that good, by the way, and it's a bit tricky. Actually. Okay, so we got this one free. Okay, now we're cleaning the CPU cooler with some isopropyl alcohol, and then we're gonna put this one in a box until a better PC comes along. Okay, thermal paste on the CPU getting cleaned up. This is the original NZXT paste, you can tell because it actually comes out pretty decently. Nice. Okay, so now a small upgrade that we are doing that I can actually recommend is that we are taking out the stock paste and using the stock cooler but with some upgraded paste. So I've never actually took some out from this cooler. So yeah, it's not really that easy because it's that kind of paste made to last a long time, having poor performance the whole time, you know. So It's gonna take a bit, but we will clean it off camera and then place some good paste on the CPU. Okay, paste application. Now this is a Ryzen, so again, we like to do the X to get every corner properly covered and then to spread it randomly a bit around, just to make sure. And now actually mounting the CPU is gonna, the CPU cooler is gonna be a bit tricky because we're gonna have to align this guy straight onto the back plate. So probably gonna do it off camera and come back. Okay, so the way they put the fans on doesn't make sense. So this thing is going out, then they're interconnected, connected on the motherboard RGB, and then this one was on the chassis fan, and they are basic. Oh, they put a zip tie there. It's gonna be a bit tricky to get out, but look at it. Okay, pulled it out, and now we're gonna just unscrew the fans, get them out, and put some better ones inside. Okay, so we did a fan swap. Put those Cooler Master ones that look much better, but you will have to see them actually turned on because they will look even better. Okay, time to swap the PSU. Now we put a fan here. So actually putting the fan, the 8-pin back isn't gonna be fun at all. I'm taking this one out. It's gonna be even worse, but I will manage to, I promise. Just give me my time. Years and years of experience, guys. I have done this before, obviously, because I always make this mistake. So I am trained, professionally trained, to actually take it out. So sometimes in life, when you can't do stuff that satisfies you or people in your life, you can use something electric to aid you. In this case it was a screwdriver, with your girlfriend it might be something else. Let's keep this mounted in the power so. Flawless. Took me just 30 seconds, as you could have seen by the footage. Yeah, really easy. Nice, nice. Now just 4 screws separate us from the victory. So. Finally, we can get the power supply out. Sorry. Okay, so we're going with this Entech power supply. It's a Neo Echo one. It's actually pretty good. It's 500 watts, but after being undervolted, the build will juice about 300 watts max, so it's perfect actually. So, plus it's black, so it fits the team better than the white one. So it's just a matter of aligning properly. Okay, and now to connect the cables. Okay, so you remember that 8-pin connector that it was a pain to take off? Now it's time to put the actual new one in. And she's attempting it herself, using her small lens, thinking that she has an advantage over me. So you can see she aligned the 2 4-pins, which is actually a good start. And now she's going into it, looking straight for the 8-pin connector. I will actually help her with some lights. Okay, she's actually doing quite well, I have to say. She's close actually. It's really entertaining to watch. I think she might have missed one actually. You can see the sheer effort and determination on her face. Just how she's trying her hardest to plug the 8-pin cable in. It's actually really difficult to do, by the way, so she's doing a great job. But the problem is, like, the little connector that you have to click actually goes a bit under the fan, so it's like really tricky to get it right. Can I give you a tip? You have to put one at a time, starting from the one on your right. Okay, time to put the actual GPU in. It's this RX 6700 XT reference model. And now it goes straight in here, ignore the screwdriver, and we can just click it. Oh wait, don't tell me. No, I know it's right this time. I want to be full this time. It was right actually. Haha, good, very good. Okay, cable management. I thought the cables coming out from the top would be the better looking, but maybe I was wrong, but we will stick to them. So yeah, I really think they're the best looking. So here goes the 8-pin right there, and then unfortunately it has a 6-pin, so we'll have this one detached. But let's just place it, so then we'll put this cable somewhere, and then this is how, wait, I think this is how I'm gonna, well, we'll work on this one, but the GPU is done. Okay, so this is how the cable management came out looking like. Pretty clean in my opinion, and well, I say it's just time to close it up. So let's get the 2 panels. This one on top because I like to risk it, and then we plug this one. The NZXT ones actually plug in a bit of a specific way. They basically slot in. They are the only case manufacturer that does this, as far as I know. So they just slot in like that, and then you simply screw them in from this side, and for some magic physics mechanism they're already closed. Okay, I did not do it properly. Let me put the front first. Solid. We are still attempting to film it, but they are very, again, specific. You have to, those clips, they have to go into a specific hole, and then you have to press them onto the back, like this. Okay, now it's actually in, and now without letting them come out, you have to actually close it, and now it's actually locked. It looks good and it's functional, but it's not the easiest way to close a case. But once closed again, it does look good. Alright guys, so here we are with the build actually finished, and I ran a Firestrike test for you all, and I mean, the performance is just impressive. We are running at close to 28k total, with 36k on the graphics, and 22k on the physics score. And it's very solid combined, that means that the PC is running smoothly all together. Now, we did test it in game, and I have to say, online you read quite a bit of bad things about the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 5 5500, but for no reason, because those CPUs have a very high IPC, and if tuned properly, you have to put the FCLK to 1800 if you have the DRAM to 3600 MHz, and you have to maybe undervolt it a little bit. I do have a tutorial on my undervolting playlist, overclocking playlist here on YouTube. But if you do tune it properly, they are very capable CPUs. I would say all the way up to even the 200 FPS mark. They perform very well. To really put it into perspective, they still beat an i7 8700K at stock, and that CPU was considered the best CPU for gaming at one point in time when it came out. So, and they are again 6-core, 12 threads, just like the 8700K. So they are a very good buy. And of course, the graphic card plays well. That as well, you should really undervolt it because you can save a ton of power, ton of temperature, and makes the PC quieter. I have a tutorial for that too. But we tested it out in games, and again, getting like 240 FPS in Fortnite was easy. In Apex Legends, pretty much the same performance, again over 200 easily. You can even play the new Warzone pretty well. Of course, you're not gonna get anything more than like 144 Hz there consistently, but it does play very well. So let's talk a bit more about the financials about it. Okay, so you've seen the performance and the build is finished, and I actually have already sold it. I did not turn much profit on it, around 200 bucks pure profit. But this goes to show that in general, it's not really all about making a ton of profit on the build, because you can make the profit somewhere else. Like in this case, we got the NZXT X63 all-in-one cooler, so that's a good add. We got the SSD extra, we got the power supply, and we got the RAM well in white, which we are gonna use in an all-white build soon. And of course, same goes for the power supply. So I'm pretty happy with it, which goes to show just in how many ways you can turn a profit or gain some benefits just by fixing up a PC that's badly built or badly paired. This is actually how I started, you know, I just wanted a better PC, so I bought one, fixed it up a little bit, sold it, bought a slightly better one, maybe took some pieces out of it, sold it, bought another one. So I think pretty much everyone of you watching can do it. If you wanna upgrade your PC, you can just sell yours, and by buying the right thing, you can turn a bit of profit. But I have to say, at least here in Italy, builds with all AMD components are very hard to sell because people don't really like AMD GPUs. And I mean, they're not always wrong, but it's just for the right price, they're good. So they shouldn't have this prejudice, but they do have it. With Ryzen's, I've seen that lately, Ryzen CPUs do sell very well. I wasn't expecting it. They did sell very badly up until a couple of years ago, but now they do sell very well. Yeah, I would not recommend AMD graphic card if you're a PC flipper. But I'm very happy with it. But do let me know, would you have done anything different with the build? Would you maybe have kept in there all the good hardware and like upgraded the CPU for a better one and like even got a higher end graphic card? Like I actually thought about getting like a 5800X, keeping everything like that, and then putting like a 3080 in there. But I thought that by investing less money in it, it would have been a safer bet to flip it. There are many ways. Do let me know if you would have done it in any different way. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.